Jesus says it like this in the Bible: I'm the vine, you're the branch. If you're not producing the apple on the end of that branch, even though you're connected to me, the farmer, my dad's gonna come by and snip you off. What's going on, guys? This is Antoine. Thanks for coming by the channel. It's not a coincidence that you clicked that video. This video was meant to find you. I'm glad you're here. Now, some of you are looking at the video title like, bro, I just got my LLC. I just got my Facebook, my Instagram. Why do you think I don't need to start a business? Look, some of y'all don't know that business is not what you think it is. It's who you is. Let me say it slowly. Business is not what you think it is. It's who you is. I'm saying that because you may not be ready for this. You may not have the character, the determination, the habits, the discipline, the ability and the will to fail because of who you are. The business by itself, the idea, the invention is amazing. That sounds really dope. But the business with you will never live because you can't establish or distinguish who you need to become next. And I think I want to help with that because business, even making millions, even making a lot of money, has not to do with the achievement. Oh, this is actually good. Business has not to do with the achievement, but has everything to do with the achiever. Let me say it again. Business is not about the achievement. It's about the achiever. What will it make of you? Jim Rohn, one of my favorite mentors. Look, some of you don't know, like I didn't know, I was not ready all the way. That's why I took my time, because I did not want to fail. I did not want to embarrass anybody. I didn't want to embarrass my wife. My wife was working at T-Mobile when I started my business. I didn't want her working 10 hours and I was over here playing PlayStation or watching too much Lord of the Rings while trying to hook up different things. Like I didn't want to become a failure in her eyes. Like I didn't want to do that. I was not fully ready. Here's one of the top reasons why I wasn't ready. Being a man of faith and not taking action was not producing any results. You're not used to producing results. You go to work right now, you come home, you scroll, and do it all over the next day. You're not producing any results. Let me connect this with you. I love having handles and anchors to this. Jesus says it like this in the Bible: I'm the vine, you're the branch. If you're not producing the apple on the end of that branch, even though you're connected to me, the farmer, my dad's gonna come by and snip you off. You're not producing any results. Even though you're talented, even though you went to school, you got 2 degrees, you're doing nothing with those degrees. You're doing nothing with that inheritance that your parents gave you. They gave you the business, but they're having to slowly take it away from you because you can't reproduce the results. I know for me, I was great at music production. Like I can produce music, I can hear it, but I couldn't produce results, meaning I couldn't get people signed to a record label. When I started my studio, we had Duke, my wife was working at T-Mobile, so she was holding down the fort while I was launching the studio because we weren't making no money. But we set it up in such a way, delayed gratification, to where our phone bill was like $40 a month. Oh my God. I'm about to go get a job at T-Mobile for like once a week, go work at T-Mobile. She worked at T-Mobile for a couple of years while I was launching the music studio, like the brick and mortar. I was downtown, I was trying to figure out a bunch of stuff. But when I found it, like she's what we lived off for a long time. And so when we had our first son, that changed the dynamics a lot. And so that really, at the same time, when you start a business, you get this high, like, man, I can start anything. I can start a restaurant. Yeah, wait a second. The other things you don't see is all the things that you just can't see. I couldn't get a song on the radio. I can make it, but it wasn't enough to produce value over time. A lot of us are ambitious, we're excited, we're creative, but to start a business is the ability to take what you're excited about, what you're skilled at, what you're created to do, and turn that into a system. There's the difference between what you're good at and what you can sell online versus turning into a business. When you go and get the LLC, when you get that license, when you get the entity, whether I'm going to be an S corp or LLC, you're ensuring that the idea, the skill, or the creative ability that you have can be a system. I'm allergic by nature to systems. I'm allergic to process, even though we have to go through a process. If you look at everything around you, from the grass to the trees to how the wind moves, it all moves in a process. It's in an order. It's in God's order, but He's given us that same ability to manage. Now, think about it from the beginning of the book. I want you to produce and multiply. That's what God told us to do. I take it in this manner as well, is to be seedful and distribute. That's a system. That's business language again. Some of us may need to, like myself, relook at why we're not fully ready to reproduce our skills, our time, our talents, and our creative nature. I had to learn how to learn from other people who have done it. We're not ready because we're rebellious. We're not ready. You're not ready because you won't listen to anybody. You think the idea you have, you think your ability to draw and make tattoos is going to help you succeed, when it's fully not enough. If you cannot be accountable, you can't learn from somebody, you can't serve somebody. You're just too rebellious. You know you should be working on your craft and learning how to do business. You might even need to go get a little degree in business management or business finance, but you're too busy scrolling, watching other businesses. Let me be hot. You're watching other people's businesses on social media without going and applying what you just viewed on social media. It just looks sexy. Now, this is the trick of our generation, especially the Gen Zs, even some of us millennial, that the older folks, they figured out because they didn't have distractions. We got distractions. So what make us rebellious is knowing what we should do, but we won't do because we're too busy watching what other people are doing. This is one key, and this is one indicator that you're not ready. You're watching. And when you watch something, you think you got it. Like, I can't tell you how many times when my son was young, he'll watch me do something, be like, Dad, I got it, and crash and burn, boop, 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 which is great for failure. But when you can't stop doing it, when you can't say, you know what, let me see you do it first. Or, hey, what book should I read next? Sometimes listening to the Audible is not the same as reading the book, because you can't take notes, you can't go back, you gotta listen to it over and over again. So this is one of the major indicators that you just may not be ready, because you won't listen to your friends, you won't listen to any pointers, you just can't listen. The second thing to let you know that you're not ready is you're not committed to fail. You're not a major risk taker. There's a point where investors become calculated risk takers. You can only be granted being a calculated person once you've already made a substantial size of money, a substantial size of investments, and you want to be a little bit more thoughtful. Where you want to take all your risk is when you're risking all of your time. If you don't have kids, you better hear me, if you don't have a girlfriend, if you don't have something where you have to, you need to take every risk you can. Don't just keep getting fired from jobs. Don't just keep hopping from here to there. But take all the risk you can and learn how to fail. Have the willingness to fail. A lot of people don't start businesses because they're afraid to fail. That's why they were too rebellious, because they think that their idea is going to be successful because this is cool. They seen this person do it on social media. They seen this ad on Facebook. And if they can do it, I can do it. It's not how that goes. You got to have the ability to fail. You got to have the strength to be discouraged. You got to have the willpower to be alone. In business, you're alone. Oh, let me give it to you like this. This is cake. Even though sounding like a business owner or entrepreneur is sexy, you're a pioneer. Do you know what that means? You're about to do something alone. Now, I pray that we all somehow get blessed. My kids will have a father who has started businesses, who has started multi-million-dollar 100 companies. You better hear me. We're not there yet, but y'all gonna see it unfold. They can look up to me and say, hey, my dad laid the groundwork. I can kind of follow after his footsteps. But most of the time, for some of us first timers, you may be the first entrepreneur in your family. You may be the first business person in your family. You may have went and got a degree, but you're getting ready to fully step out. You're a pioneer. Pioneer meaning taking on new territory and like creating your own civilization and business that nobody on your right or left can help you with. Luckily, there's YouTube. Luckily, there's some interviews and some testimonials, but most of the time, it's your idea. It's a new thing. Even a franchise, you're kind of gonna have to go at it alone because you're going to have the risk alone. I know what it's like to have friends that I wish was a part of what I was doing, but I figured out why they didn't want to do it with me. The risk was too great. Like, I gotta leave. I gotta put up this much money. Like, you need to prepare to be alone. You need to have the will to fail alone, because those who have greater risk will one day have a greater reward. That's for you later. You don't want to thrive off of that. Now, if you are starting a business, here's another reason why you don't want to start your business right now. Same as investors, you have to be willing to lose everything multiple times so that you can gain the number one thing that you wanted to gain one time. Can you lose multiple times? I know when I got my first trainer and he started stacking weights on, I felt that I wasn't gaining anything because my body felt like I was losing my life. Sheesh. I felt so tired. I felt so strained. No matter how many protein drinks I would stash, I felt weak. I didn't feel like, but slowly I started to see formation. Slowly. Gradual, which is gonna go into the next point. I started to slowly see some type of results, but I would have to lose my old self. I had to lose weight. You better hear me. I had to start to lose weight. I had to start to lose on how many things I could eat. I had to start losing some friends that whenever I got around them, we would get around food and laugh and eat and laugh and eat and laugh and eat. I know that you can't do that anymore. You're gonna have to lose out on friendships. You're gonna have to lose that, hey, sorry, y'all didn't get to go to that party. Yo, like, look, I know y'all haven't seen me. Yo, where have you been? I've been telling my wife, I'm keeping 100. Like, babe, for us to go to the next level, you might not be able to talk to your mom and them all the time. Like, we got stuff to do. I gotta lose to gain, which goes into the fourth one. I wanna leave you with four. We'll probably put this in a part 2. Can you delay your winning? Can you delay the results of your winning? Meaning, delay gratification. I said it. Look, I said it. And I'm glad you're not here in front of me to see. But the reason why you shouldn't start that business is because of the freedom to have your time controlled, the house you want to live in, the people you want to hang out, the car you want to drive, the places you want to go. That will take time. For somebody like me who's starting a tech company, the camera I'm using right now is about $4,000. Like, I got I'm losing, and I live in a 1,100 square foot home, and I drive a 2015 Tiguan. I don't have my Tesla. My kids can go out in our backyard with 2 acres and go play with the neighbors who have a home and a pool and a basement for the stuff I dream about, because I'm delaying those gratifications so that I can invest into the now that can create those assets. I'm deferring liabilities right now. You gotta learn this when you're starting a business. To say, hey, yeah, this is gonna hopefully be $1 million company, but it won't look like that. It won't even feel like that. Matter of fact, don't even go get business credit just to look like that, because those people fail. I believe a part of that 90% of businesses that don't make it or succeed is because you try to stunt too quick. You try to gloss too quick. You try to look like your business is doing great too quick, too fast. And you didn't delay your gratification. When you can delay what you want for what you need, soon what you needed will produce your wants. That's a whole different thing, because in this time, You're learning how to be more patient and lose, and having the the willingness to fail, which is a great book. Forgot the author, but I'll probably put it down in the description. But if you can have patience and over time learn how to lose, figure out how you lost, and then to be able to delay gratification and be able to fail all over, you're practicing all the ways how not to lose, which means you can only win. So don't start a business if you're not willing to do these things. You gotta learn how to be able to do these things, because here's one of the perks that nobody will tell you. After you learn how to become patient, after you learn how to fail, and you're okay with it, like you learn from it, after you learn how to delay those gratifications, after you learn how to lose, the thing that it makes of you is impenetrable. You lost everything. Like, I know what it's like. And when you hear stories of millionaires and billionaires, like, that's what they'll tell you. You got to be willing to lose. I love the way Jesus says it like this. If they persecuted me, even though I did all of this stuff, you don't think they're going to do it to you? But he says one thing that makes I and you should feel like a champion. He says, look, even I have overcome the world. All the problems, all the failure, all the ridicule. Oh, man, I told you shouldn't start that business, bro. Like, that's a waste of your money. Look, come and work at my daddy's shop. Wait, you want to go work at somebody else's business when I could have started my own? Jesus says, if I overcome the world, you can overcome the world. So if you can overcome, watch it. Listen to what I'm saying. If you can overcome the feel of failing, losing everything. Most people don't want to lose stuff. I've talked to many people and I've already lost my house. Me and my husband, we already been through that. We didn't already. If you're not willing to lose, you don't deserve to gain. I love that. I think that is Jim Rohn. That life won't give you what you want. It'll only give you what you deserve. If you're not willing to have these, to lose that, to gain, to lose, fail, to delay gratification, to learn as you're failing, you shouldn't start a business. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just watch everybody. Keep living through everybody else. I think that'll be a good situation for you. Yeah, go ahead and just live through everybody else. But if you're willing to do those things and sacrifice those things, you're on your way to a good starting business, to a good starting idea that I believe you may be destined for. Matter of fact, that's exactly why you're here on earth. That's exactly why you're here. It's because I believe that God planted something in you that only you are designed to do. Only you are designed to create it and form it. Think about it. Think about the person who created his iPad, the Tesla. Like, if it wasn't, it had to be Elon. It had to be Steve Jobs. It had to be Martin Luther King to say, I have a dream that one day Bill and Antoine, and John and Jeff can get together and come together and make a billion-dollar tech company. Yep, y'all better hear what I'm saying. These are real things. So if you do want to start that business, before you continue that license, before you launch that social media, look to yourself. Matter of fact, go ask some friends and family, hey, do I have a problem with losing? Do I have a problem with failing? Or am I stunting too hard? Did I go buy the Tesla before? Is my car payments too high? Is my home pay? You better learn how to get that overhead like this. You better hear me. In the next video, we're going to talk about not only being able to succeed in business, but what's another business frame that's outside of this world, but inside of the world, but in a kingdom way. That's something I want to share with you guys, because it may give you a different perspective of how you're going to launch this business. Because it's not what you think it is, it's who it is. That's what business is. Business is a person. It takes the thought. Everything that you see, videos, cars, it was in the mind of somebody first and became a business. It became an idea. It became something tangible, multipliable, and being able to be sold. So hopefully this didn't go too far above your head, but I wanted to pause you for a second. Ask people around you. Take notes on this. Because if you're the business of, because if you're the person to fail, you're the person who deserves to succeed. And I hope to meet you on the other side of that succession. Look, thank you guys for coming by the channel. I'm excited that you're here. It's not a coincidence that you heard this. You need to hear this because as you see me roll out these videos, you're going to see the day in the life of how I'm building a $300 million tech company. I believe that. Stay tuned for more. My kids are at the door. You don't want more of this, but look, I'm going to give you dropping bars right now. Dropping bars. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Dive in more. You're needed. You're valuable. You're loved. Let's go.